All right, welcome everyone. So yeah, we're gonna give this a go as a beginner's intro. Really, it's fundamentals. Fundamentals are good for anyone. I actually, the many a teacher have I had who, in my opinion, were masters, and they were like, fundamentals are the most important because if you master a fundamental, you really can do any posture. And so I love practicing at the fundamentals, doing the simplest poses, the poses you know, absolutely you've done maybe hundreds, sometimes even thousands of times, and then just bringing in this beginner's mind, treating it like it's fresh, treating it like it's new, and learning how to keep it super simple that you can, as we explore the intermediate ways of being in poses and whatnot, we can get lost in what's really important about an asana, really important about a posture. And so today, what we're really going to be working on is breathing deeply, and then experiencing the body in a state of being steady and being in a state of ease. These are to me the fundamental ideas of any posture is to cultivate what is steady about a pose, what is the foundation of a pose, and then how can that pose create an expression of being easeful. And if you can combine those two things in every posture, you to me have a fundamental understanding of any pose. Now each pose sort of changes, right? What makes steady, what makes ease in the pose can vary. So without further ado, let's start with a seated posture. And I really, really recommend, since this is a fundamentals class, that when you sit cross-legged, you sit up on something so that your hips are above your knees, or at least the same height as your knees. And seated cross-legged, you're going to place your ankles underneath your knees. This is the easy sitting pose. It's the same word in Sanskrit, sukha, means ease. It's the same ease where they teach us, hey, an asana should have ease in it. They say the word sukha. So we are practicing sitting easefully, and sitting up with our sit bones relative to our knees is part of that process. And then you're just going to take your hand to your low back. You want to make sure that your low back is not sinking back, but that your low back is like a sprout of a stem of a fern, and so that your spine is up. And you'll take this moment to sort of perch your rib cage and your head on top of that sprout. Mhm. And with that, you're going to rest your hands, palms or back of the hand on knees. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. You're trying to find the ease, the steadiness is in the ankles and sit bones, going straight down like a square into the earth. So try to feel the straight down like a square of the ankles and sit bones going into the earth. And that you are not falling back or forward, and obviously not left or right. That your spine sprouts. This will create ease. That you are balanced in your seated posture. This is great. I can, honestly, I think all your postures are improved just by me talking about it. We do this pose all the time. So that's wonderful. It's all right. It's all right. It's working. uh, and so take another deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Good. Now intentionally lengthen it. Just think, I'm not taking more breath, but I'm just lengthening the breath so there's more ease. And out. And there's a quality of savor when you breathe in a posture that we want to be enjoying ourselves. That helps create ease in our posture. So when you inhale, it's like smelling a rose. You're willing to take the breath in. You're eager to take the breath in. And that the exhale is a sigh of release, a sigh of relief, of tension and effort. One more like that. An eagerness to take the breath in And the exhale is a sigh of relief, a willingness to release effort. All right, looks like John and Lynn just made it here. Really great to see them. Glad you made it, Lynn and John. We're just getting started with some breathing. This is a fundamentals class, so just pop right in. You already know all this stuff. Okay, so we're gonna keep working on that stable base, a sprouted, easeful spine. You're gonna interlock your fingers and you're gonna stretch them up. Listen to your shoulder joint. Stretch them out before up, and then you can go up and just listen. Just listen where does it feel stiff? Don't even bother going there yet. You want to still feel this sense of ease. Do in fact extend your elbows if you can. And now do that breath that we've been working on. An inhale is an eagerness to breathe, to take the air in. And the exhale is a willingness to release effort. One more like that. An inhale, eagerness to inhale. And an exhale, willingness to release tension. Good, and relax back down. All right, so now shrug those shoulders up high. And then exhale, let them come down by the sides. One more time, shrug those shoulders up high. Exhale, bring them down. Last one. Good. You open the throat just by lifting the chin nice and tall. Breathe easefully, friends. Good. You're going to drop the chin down, let the forehead grow heavy so the back of the neck feels long. And just notice the stretch. Feel the stretch of the neck. And then you're just going to roll, half roll the skull to one side, doesn't matter. Feeling the stretch on the opened side, the exposed side. And then roll it to the other side. Just be mindful. Part of this steadiness and ease is our ability to perceive that. Let's go back to the other side. You can feel what over-efforting is. What a calm, paced effort is. Let's go back to the second side one more time. Not trying to exacerbate sensation. That would not be ease. Let's come back to center and then lift our skull up. Good. We're going to add to our base. You're going to take your right hand. If you have a block, you're going to put your hand on that block. Otherwise, those fingertips will find the floor off to your side. So you've made a triangle with your spine and arm. Good. Keep that left hip still heavy. Extend your left arm straight out. And now try to broaden the distance between your two hands. As you broaden the distance between your two hands, release the shoulder blades away from your ears. That should feel easeful. That should feel like a lack of effort that you're releasing into your posture. You get more out of it, and it's more easeful. Good. Come back up. So part of the steadiness is your foundation of your pose. You're going to take your left hand, you're going to put it on a block or on the floor so that you make a triangle with your arm and spine. Keep your right sit bone down and extend your right arm out. Intentionally extend. Part of the foundation of the pose is the basic shape of the pose. So you have the base and then you have the basic shape, and that's the arms in this wingspan-like gesture. Now the ease comes in relaxing effort around the shape of the pose. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Good. Come back up to center. If you'd like, you can change which leg was in front by uncrossing and then recrossing. You don't have to. We'll do one more twist here and then we'll move on to our next stage. Still, the sit bones and ankles are balanced like a box as your foundation. You're going to take your right hand, you're going to place it on your left knee. Then lift up. Don't fall back. Some of us have to lean back but lift up to create space. Take your left hand, I do solemnly swear. Yeah. Keep it up in the air, elbow in line with the shoulder, and now pull at the shoulder and the elbow at the same time. Pull back using those upper back muscles to open the twist. Good. Notice if your spine is tilting versus twisting. Breathe here. Good. You can turn your head both directions as you keep moving that left shoulder and elbow back. Breathe. Good. Unwind, relax a moment. Make sure that wasn't too long of a hold. If it was too long of a hold, it means we went a little too far into the pose. Okay, take the left hand. You're going to place it across so the arm is extended. Some of us are going to lean back, but we're all going to be upright so that we still feel balanced over the box of our ankles and sit bones. Open, I do solemnly swear. Right elbow adjacent, parallel with the shoulder. Okay, pull with the shoulder and elbow back to twist the spine. Not lean, not tilt. Twist the spine. Good. You can look both directions, see what feels good. And then breathe. Be eager to take the air in and be willing to release effort when you let the breath out. One more here. Good. Release yourself back to center. Make sure there's no tension from the remnants of the twist. And let's go ahead and come to standing pose first. So if you don't have your blocks now, now's a great time to go ahead and grab them. You're going to put them at the front of your mat when we need them. Okay, so again, a pose, the basics of a pose, the fundamentals of a pose are always starting with what's connecting to the earth. So that's our feet. And you want to think, you guys remember roller skates? Roller skates. So you got those 4 wheels. That's the 2 points on the back of the heel, and then the balls of the foot, the pinky and big toe side. Press down through the roller skates. It's like a box. Each foot is a box, and you're pushing down through that box. Good. And now sprout your spine and try to stay balanced within that box. Let's all just feel like what it's like to have too much weight on the back of those roller skate wheels. Whoa, we're gonna roll backwards. Well, let's put too much weight on the front of those roller skate wheels. Good. And now let's put the weight evenly on the roller skate wheels. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Good. Try to shrug your shoulders as high as you can, lengthening your body. Good. You're going to open your arms out, elbows parallel with the shoulders. These are some mountain pose variations, keeping that stable square-like structure with our feet. Pull the shoulders and elbows back, but don't bulge your heart forward. Good. Now open your breath into the shape. One more like that. Good. Go ahead and place the hands along the sides of the legs, and you're going to slide the hands. Keep your elbows straight. Slide the hands down the legs, any amount until you feel like you've engaged the stretch, but haven't gone past that place of engagement into, hey, my body doesn't really like this. That's too far. That's too far. Close your eyes here if it suits you, but just feel, what is this pose doing, this standing forward fold? Where am I feeling sensation? Inhale, come back up. Shoot the arms forward and up, reaching up to the sky. You're going to lift your shoulders up as high as they'll go. Still within the box shape of our feet. Now squeeze your kneecaps. Try to make the legs very straight, like arrows. Keep that tone, keep that engagement. That's part of our steadiness, like tree trunk legs. And then open the elbows out, field goal post arms. These tree trunks with field goal posts. I'm sure there's trees that have branches like this. We'll just go with that. Okay, now press your elbows down on an imaginary surface and pull back at the same time. Breathe here. Be full inside your ribs. Lift your chin up a little bit. Make sure your gaze is straight out ahead. Good. Place the hands down the sides of the legs. Slide them down the legs. Stop when the body says, hey, you're about to go past the easefulness of your pose. Then hold on to something, whether you're holding onto the block or holding onto the ankles or holding onto your shins. Squeeze that, grab on, and straighten your arms. As you straighten your arms, extend your spine out. This is called flat back posture, or half forward fold. Breathe here as you squeeze in on the belly muscles on the exhale. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Excellent. You're going to take those blocks now. You're going to step your right foot back, and you're going to frame your front foot with the blocks. The back heel will be turned up. This is our lunge posture. You're going to bend your front knee over the heel. Hands on the block. You can even put your hands on a table ledge. A countertop would be fine too. A little more height. Okay, pushing the front knee over the heel. Our foundation is our hands push down and our feet push down. Even though our back heel is up, it still feels like the roller skates. Once you have your legs and arms steady, now shoot your crown at a diagonal, forward and up. Great work, nice and steady, nice and framed. Now breathe here, try to circulate energy through the limbs, through the joints. Breathe, crave the breath. And release tension on the exhale. One more. Good. To come out of pose, bend your back knee and step it forward, and then come back up to our standing mountain pose. Just notice that the two sides were different, and they feel different after the pose. Part of a yoga posture, a yoga practice, is to just become more sensitive in general. That we do the postures, then we observe how they make the body feel. And if we ever need to practice on our own, we can design our own sequences based on what our body needs. Go bend your knees and step your left leg straight back. We're going to go to our second side. Set up your foundation, set up your base by pushing down through the roller skates, the four corners of the foot. Push down through the hands. And once you've made this base, reach your crown. You now have the structure of the posture. Now cultivate ease inside of it by breathing in to energize and breathing out to release effort and tension. One more. Good. Bend the back knee, step it forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Great job. You're going to take your left hand out on a V diagonal. You can turn and look at the palm of your left hand. Keep looking at it. As you look at it, turn that thumb back so your shoulder rolls down the back. Very good. And reach out with those fingers. Make the V bigger, the half V. Good. Slide your right hand down the right leg. And just Wherever that stops, that's fine. Mine stops about the top of my knee. Wherever that stops, that's fine. Keep reaching out with the left hand. Maybe sliding the right hand down further. Good, breathe. Now slowly turn your gaze and look down at the bottom edge, or the wide edge of your right foot. Breathe into the side channel. Open the side ribs. Inhale, come back up. We're going to transition. Bring that top hand down. Bring the bottom hand up. On a V diagonal, palm faces your face. Look at your palm. Rotate it even more to open that shoulder. Keep looking at the palm, but slide your left hand, the opposite hand, down the left leg. Wherever it stops is great. Now breathe here. If you'd like, you're going to turn the gaze to look at the bottom. Look at the left edge of the left foot. Focus on keeping the feet balanced still. Inhale back up and relax your arms. Very good. Bend your knees as deeply as you can while keeping the feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your knees. Keep pressing down through the soles of the feet, the roller skate wheels. That's it. In one breath, swoop the arms wide and up. Listen to your back and shoulder muscles. Chair pose. We're going to hold this for 3 breath counts. Breathe in, crave the breath. Be willing to release effort on the exhale. One more. And inhale, come all the way back up. Good, let's practice our warrior one. You're going to step your right leg back. This time the foot will be turned out 45 degrees. And you're going to keep the roller skate wheels pressing down through your feet as you bend your front knee over the front heel. Good, let's start with our hands on our hips today. We've got a great base now. Tone your legs, especially that back knee. Press down through the 4 corners of your foot. Now to complete the pose, you can kind of leave your hips, but just turn your chest very slow to make sure it's facing the front edge of your mat. Gently pull the shoulder blades back. Sprout up through your spine. As you sprout up through your spine, you can actually use your hand now to help push your hips down through your feet. Now you've got a great fundamental shape to your warrior one. Breathe inside of it, friends. Circulate the breath. 2 more. Good. Mindfully step back to mountain pose. You haven't lost the mental state of yoga. You're still practicing. Just feel the body. You're going to bend your knees and step your left leg back on a 45-degree angle. Bend the front knee over the heel. Practice pressing down through the 4 corners of your feet. Even weight distribution. We'll place our hands on our hips today. And then you can leave the hips, they might turn a little, but face your chest to the front edge of the mat. Gently draw the shoulders up and back. And brighten your spine. As you brighten the spine up, push your hips in and down to root yourself. You've got a great fundamental shape now. Breathe and circulate the easefulness of the posture, warrior one pose. Virabhadrasana 1. One more deep breath. Stay in the yoga as you mindfully step back to mountain pose. Great work. Great work. Let's go right from here. You're going to take a wide stance, open on your stance. So your feet now are parallel still, but you're wide-legged, facing the long edge of your mat. And let's just explore our inner thighs. That there's muscles here that we don't really get access to when we do the narrow poses. So we're going to just tilt our body to your left, and maybe you feel a stretch along the inner part of the leg. You're going to come back up. We're going to just tilt the other side, experience the adductors being stretched. Good. Back up to center. Once again, focus on your roller skates, pushing down through your feet. Support your low back, friends. Hands, fingers point down, hands are on the low back. And you're going to lift your chin straight skyward. Breathe. Open your rib cage with breath. One more deep breath here. Good. Now you're going to come back up to neutral. You're going to go ahead and turn your right foot 90 degrees and bend the knee over the heel. It looks a lot like Warrior One, but now we're open. It becomes Warrior Two. We're going to keep the hands on the hips today. Push the front knee over the heel and wear your roller skates, but don't roll around. Create steadiness instead. Push down through all the roller skate wheels evenly. Good. Push your hips down through your legs and lift up your spine. Excellent. Gently fan out your elbows. Almost feels like your elbows are getting wider apart as you pull the shoulder blades down your back. I'll say that again. The elbows go wider apart as the shoulder blades go down your back. And now breathe and circulate the Warrior Two yoga posture. These longer holds with more details, you can end up working quite hard, quite challenging, doing the fundamentals because we hold the pose a little longer to really establish the integrity of the shape. Good. Let's go ahead, straighten the leg. You can pivot on the heel, back to wide-legged. Relax your arms a moment. Let's finish this side before we close our stance. You're going to pivot the left foot out 90 degrees, bend the knee over the heel. Remember to wear your roller skate wheels. Push down through the earth. That's your base, that's your foundation. Hold the hips and draw the elbows out while you pull the shoulders down. Push the hips down. And now open your breath to the shape. Open your breath to the pose. Inhales, a willingness to breathe. Exhale, okay, releasing effort. Two more. Good, straighten the leg. We're going to step back to the front of our mats. Just shake it out a second. Flick the wrists. Okay, we're going to combine all those poses into just a gentle movement. So a little bit of a flow, just to get a little more circulation happening. We're going to breathe and move, pose to pose. We're not going to do any poses that we haven't already just worked on, but you're trying to still keep just as good of integrity in each shape, even though we move a little bit faster. So hands by your sides, mountain pose. Here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down chair pose. Inhale, step your right leg back, high lunge pose. Exhale, plant that foot and lift up, warrior one. Warrior one, we face the front edge still. Good, place the hands down and step to the front of your mat. Flat back pose. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up, bend your knees, chair pose. Step your left leg back, hands to the floor, lunge pose. Plant the back foot down, rise up, warrior one. You can do our hands on the hips still, no problem, whatever works for you. And then step forward, forward fold, into flat back. Forward fold, keep breathing. Inhale, come all the way up. Now let's crescent to our left. Up, crescent to our right. Up. Take our hands to our low back. Look up at the sky. And now go ahead to look forward and step your right leg back, warrior one again. Good, you're gonna turn and pivot that back foot even wider and extend your arms this time, warrior two. Good, turn both feet to the side of your mat, wide-legged stance. Let's do that gentle back bend by just supporting our low back and looking up, drawing our shoulders back, breathe. Remembering our foundation is first, then the ease. Steady first, then ease. And then warrior two, we're gonna pivot our back foot and rotate to the back of our mat. Warrior two on the second side. Close our stance, warrior one on our second side. So we're facing the back of our mat. Good, pivot our feet so we're facing the wide edge of our mat, wide-legged mountain pose again. I'm gonna add one pose, look up at the sky. Exhale, bow, slide your hands down your legs, wide-legged forward fold. And we'll pause here from our flow. Good job. You've got your blocks, please find them and put them underneath your shoulders. Blocks go underneath the shoulders. You can put them underneath your head even if you'd like. You're going to place your left hand down on the block or on the floor. You put your right hand right on your low back, even right on the back of your hips. Try to keep your hips steady. Now rotate your shoulders to the right. You can look over the right shoulder if that's available to you. Breathe here. You've got a great steadiness, a triangular tripod here. And now find the ease, the willingness to relax effort. Let's change sides. Place the right hand down, pushing through the block. Putting the left hand on the low back or low hips. And rotate your left shoulder skyward. You can look over the left shoulder with your gaze. And now breathe ease into the pose. One more. Good. Come back to center. You're going to bend your knees to support yourself. Put your hands on your knees and rise up and step to the front of your yoga mat. Very good. Very good. That was a great opening warm up here. Let's add a couple more fundamental poses and then we'll see if we flow them again together. So we're going to keep our feet, we're going to turn our, we're going to keep our feet. Yes, please keep your feet for this next pose. We're going to keep our feet facing the short edge of the mat. And you're going to step them apart. So they're about, your toes are kind of covering the wide edge of your mat. We're going to practice Malasana. You do hands in front of the heart. We're going to sort of keep them on the thighs. Bend your knees out on the angle, on the diagonal, as you sink down. As low as you can with the feet still flat. This is Malasana. We're going to open our hips. We don't want to lose muscular tone. We don't want to go past our muscular abilities to support our joints. Keep breathing here. This pose can be very challenging for some people in the shins or the knees, the hips, the low back. Lots of different places this pose can be challenging. And that's where you can practice exhaling and releasing the effort that is not necessary. Good. Push down with your legs. Lift your tail first so your head hangs, and then roll the rest of the spine up. Good. We're going to do that one more time. You might not go as deep this time, and you're also welcome to step your feet even wider. Okay? And then once again, once your feet are a little wider, still flat on the floor, bend once again. I'm going to go ahead and grab my block. I'm going to put it next to my inside of my right foot. You can push. Put your left hand on your knee and you're going to turn your shoulders a little bit. So you're opening the side body here in your squat pose. Good. If you want to put that block on the other side, you can. You'll put the elbow on the thigh if not, and then the opposite hand goes on the knee. And you push and twist the spine. Breathe here. Remembering the roller skates. You don't have to go down too low. It's more about the twist. Good. Back to center. Lift the hips first for safety of the spine and roll the rest of the spine up with it. Very good. Very good. Great hip opener there. Okay. Let's bend our knees and step our legs back so the feet look like warrior one. The feet look like warrior one, but you're going to straighten your leg, both legs. You can go a little longer today, if you like. Take your left hand, that's the front foot, is the left hand. You place it on the thigh of the left leg. Right hand is going to go on your hip today. You're going to push down through your roller skates. Push down through your roller skates. And slide the left hand down so you're not pushing on the knee, but you're pushing on the shin, right below the knee. Pushing, or if you get to the middle of the shin, that's great too. You're pushing the shin down into the foot. You can push the shin down to the foot. Now, pull your right shoulder back and look up at the ceiling. Good. And if you want, you can put that hand a little lower. You don't have to. I don't encourage it. I actually think the middle of the shin is great. Resting that top hand on the hip. This is quite a pose. Let's press down through our feet. Really, you have a great fundamental shape, a great foundation. And now open your spine. Open the chest by broadening your collarbones, leaning back slightly. Breathe. Find the ease of effort. Push down through the feet. Inhale, rise up. Bend your knees and let's step out of our pose. Go ahead, step the left foot back. It's a warrior one stance today, but longer, and the legs are both straight. So warrior one feet, legs are but longer. Okay, it's not as open as warrior two. Push down through your roller skates and rest your right hand on the thigh. Put your left hand on the hip. And now let's slide the hand down the front, top of the shin, to the middle of the shin. You're going to push that shin down into your front foot, into the roller skate. You can do that and feel nice and balanced. Pull your left shoulder back and look over it. Breathe here. Keep the roller skates in mind, that you're balanced. And open your pose now. Open the chest with breath. Lean back a little, but stay within the frame of your base. Okay, push down through the feet. Inhale, rise up and step out of the posture. Really good. Step the feet wide as your mat. Let's do a gentle little flow here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, open up the left side. Exhale, back to neutral. Elbows on thighs. Inhale, open up the right side. Back to neutral. Push down through your roller skates. Lift up through the tail first. The rest of the spine comes with it. Inhale, arms to the sky. Let's step our feet together. Get nice and long with the body. Exhale, step your right leg back. Warrior one legs. You can even do warrior one for a moment. Good, straighten the legs, open our body. Turn the body open, and then slide the left hand down the left leg. Triangle pose. Breathe here. We're going to add a pose. I didn't teach it yet. Bend the front knee. I didn't teach it today. We do it all the time. Bend the front knee. Turn the back heel up. Twisted lunge. So your front knee is bent. You're opening. That's the left leg in front. The left arm's in the sky. Good. Both hands down. Step to the forward fold posture at the front of the mat. Inhale, roll up. Bring the legs together. Long body. And then step the left leg back, warrior one. Straighten the legs. Tilt into that triangle pose. You can do the normal triangle, or you can do the hand on the hip like we worked on earlier. I do recommend the shin pushing down action today. Helps really create steadiness. Bend the front knee. Put the left hand on the floor and lift the front. It's the right legs in front, the right arms in the sky. Twisted lunge. Good. Step to the front of your mat. Let's do a squat pose. And then inhale, roll back up. Okay, nice. Combining all those postures together. Let's move to a little bit of balancing. So if you'd like to use the wall for your balancing, you can go right ahead. So you're going to stand adjacent to the wall. It's all about that roller skate today. That's what this class is really focusing on, is the four corners of that foot. You're going to push down to the four corners of your right foot. And then you're going to bring your left leg up. You can just start by perching the toe on the floor and the heel on the inner shin. This is a great tree pose. You can all start here. And the next step would be to just put the heel on the calf and the toe would be in the air. This is a great place to just really work on being able to balance and focusing on the roller skate wheel, focusing on making your leg steady. If that's available, and you like to go a little further, you're going to keep lifting that knee up and actually press it against the inner thigh of the standing leg. I think you all have your right leg down. I've got my left leg down, so we're mirroring each other. You can do hands on the hips today. Or it can be helpful to put one hand on the knee and then one hand on a wall, however you've worked it out. Push down through your standing leg. And now look out at a spot on the wall. And try to grow like your eye level was just 1 inch higher. That we're spreading, we're stretching out into our tree. We're not shrinking. We're stretching out into our tree pose. We're growing uplifted in our balancing efforts. Good, let's slide that leg down. You're gonna spin if you're using the wall so that the other arm's on the wall. And press down through the left foot roller skate wheels. Pressing down through the left foot roller skate wheels, you can do the toe down variation. Great way to still both get the hip opener and the benefits of toning the outer hip. You can do the gentle balance where you put the foot on the calf, working on our balancing abilities. You can go into the thigh, a little more challenge, a little more mobility required. Place the hand on the knee. However, if you can't cultivate steadiness and ease in any version, then you're not actually doing a yoga pose. You're just, I don't know, hanging out. To do the yoga pose, there has to be the ability to cultivate steadiness and the ability to cultivate ease. And this is how you determine what pose variation is appropriate for you. Which one can you hold for 3 breaths, 5 breaths, and then maybe next week or even later on in the practice, you just do the next version. It opens up for you. Keep pressing down through the roller skate wheel. Utilize the breath. And gently release. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same tree pose. And I want you to really commit for yourself. Commit to steadiness, commit to ease in whatever version, toe down, calf, or thigh, so that you could comfortably extend your arms into the sky. And maybe that one hand would be on the wall. I'm still fine with that. But you're just touching it. You're not leaning on the wall. Okay? Here we go. First side, right leg down. You're going to choose the variation. Toe down, calf, or thigh. So you can keep the roller skate steady. And you can, with ease, extend your arms overhead. The breath can flow and circulate through your posture. Extend those elbows, friends. And let's release. Plant that foot. Keep the mindful awareness as you transition. Plant down through that leg and go ahead and lift up the right foot into whatever placement you're going to go for. Keep steadiness in that left foot roller skate and ease through your whole body, especially your shoulders, as you extend your arms overhead. You can't see, but in the camera, I'm actually just holding on to a rope that's off camera above me. I'm just kidding. Extend through your fingers, extend through your elbows. And release. Good. Let's come down to a knee and then take a kneeling posture. We haven't done any floor work yet, so we're going to establish some floor work. You're going to go hands and knees by placing the knees down, and then your hips are over the knees, and your shoulders are over the hands. You can have your fingers spread, you can have your fingers close together. It doesn't matter as long as you can press your whole hand, just like you pressed your whole foot, down into the mat. The heel of the hand, under the knuckles, the knuckle pads, and of course the fingertips should all be pressing down into the mat. Take a moment here to articulate your spine. The first articulation is cow face pose, where you're arching, you're dipping your low back to lift your tail and lift your crown, which opens the throat, opens the chest, and lengthens your belly. Let's breathe here as you put like a back bend shape in your spine. This is cow. Cows have wonderful expression of ease. They sit in their shoulder and hip joints, as are you in your cow pose. Just hang your spine, articulate those back muscles into a place of tone so that there's ease in your back bend shape. And a cat, a shrieking cat, a cat who falls high from a ledge, learns how to land lightly on their paws. This next pose is cat. So you'll push down through your hands, down through your knees, doming your spine, lifting the back ribs. Send your tail down into your knees. Let your crown feel heavy like a bowl of soup. Dangling from the neck. Breathe here, filling in the back ribs, and then hug the belly muscles in on the exhale. And we're just going to go back and forth 5 times. I don't care how you breathe, as long as you keep mindfully breathing the whole time. Inhaling one direction, and then exhaling the other. Let's do this quietly. Really try to just feel your body going from cat to cow with continuous breath. It can be as long a breath as feels good to you. In and out through the nose. Back to center. We're going to tuck our toes, downward facing dog pose. You're going to tuck your toes. Let's come back to the cat shape pose to start. Cat shape pose to start. So our head is very heavy. Spine is domed. You're going to lift your hips up so your head stays heavy. Your chin is almost tucked as you let your head feel like a hanging bowling ball. Sink through your shoulders and keep the shoulders lifting. Keep your shoulders lifting and push them down into your hands. But sink down through your shoulder blades. Good. Pull the belly muscles into your low back and into the back of your hips. Pull the belly muscles in as you exhale, into the low back, into the back of the hips. As you sink the heels, don't push them, sink them. Breathe and lengthen the back ribs with each inhale. Come back down to a kneeling posture. Very good. Go ahead, cross your ankles and sit back to a seated posture. Take a moment again. Notice when I'm sitting on the ground, my knees are slightly above my hips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cushion or a block. I'm going to place it under my sit bones so that my knees become the same height or lower than my sit bones. Rest the hands on the knees. And create that 4-point base of 2 sit bones and 2 ankles connecting to the earth. Close the eyes if you're okay with that. Practice a full torso, full body breath. Breathe deep into your belly. Breathe deep into your side ribs. Breathe into the chest. And then empty the air. Breathe deep into the belly. Deep into the side ribs. Deep into the back and chest. And then empty the body of air. Breathe deep into the belly. Deep into the side ribs. Deep into the back and chest. And then empty the body of air. Good. Go ahead and gently let your head hang so that your left ear is falling towards your left shoulder. Breathe deep and slow here still. Keep that right shoulder relaxed. Let's slowly take our head the other direction, second side. Back to center. Go ahead and bring your right knee a little wider and extend your left leg straight out in front. So the heel and the sit bone are connecting to the earth. The knee, if you're sitting on something, your knee will be off, the back of the knee will be off. Then your right hip, the ankle and the sit bone are connecting to the earth. So you still have a 4-point base. If you're having trouble sitting upright, meaning you want to fall back or you're forcing yourself to lean forward to stay upright, you're not sitting high enough. Build good fundamentals. Sit high enough so the 4 points of contact are in fact holding you up. If you've got them, take your blocks and frame your straight leg. Slide the blocks with your hands any amount until you just start to feel a stretch. Wherever you start to feel a stretch, and then stop. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, are the 4 points of contact, the heel, ankle, and sit bones, Are they still grounded? And then slide the hands a little further if they are. Is the heel, ankle, and sit bone still grounded? Then slide the hands a little further. If they're not grounded, you've gone too far. Your arms straight. You continue to progress into the pose, never leaving the foundation of a steady base. If you keep ease in mind, you'll go very far in the pose. Inhale, pull the blocks back, bring your spine back upright. Very nice. Let's change out our legs. Put the other leg straight, that's your right one. Pull the left leg in. Find the 4 points of contact, the right heel, the left ankle, and the 2 sit bones. Frame the straight leg with your blocks. Make sure that you're balanced. You can feel gravity moving through the 4 points of contact with the earth. And then gently push with straight arms, push the blocks forward. Pause and listen. Is there still steadiness with the 4 points of the legs, the lower extremities? And you can easily slide deeper. Listening, maintaining steadiness, cultivating ease. You should feel the body very much being pulled. This pose is called Janu Shirshasana. Janu Shirshasana, it should be pulling on a lot, but you're never pulling on too much. As you maintain a balanced mindset, you can truly benefit from yoga. Draw the hands back. Let's go ahead and put both legs out. And slowly you can roll to your side or use your core to sit back into the mat. We'll bend our knees so our feet are flat on the floor. Take a moment to let your whole spine, your hips, shoulders, skull, low back, is all sinking into the earth. Try to just relax. It's easy to be steady when you're on the floor. The floor is so steady already. So it invites you to be more easeful, more steadiness, more ease. Push down through the roller skates of your feet and lift your hips up as high as they'll go while maintaining steadiness and ease. Lower the hips back down and make sure that the whole spine is sinking into the mat still. One more time, press down through the roller skates of the feet. Lift the hips up as high as they'll go, arching the spine into bridge. And lower the spine down into the earth. Take your knees into your chest. Just rest your hands on top of the knee or on top of the shin. Now outstretch your arms in a T shape. With your arms outstretched in a T shape, just drop both legs over to the right. Take a soft breath. It can still be long, but it's soft. It's not too deep. It's just gentle. Go ahead, lift the knees back up and take a soft breath as you drop your knees to the other side. I'm going to go with left. It's left. Legs back up. Slide your heels out along the mat, giving them as much space and distance as feels good to the joints. Let the arms fall by your sides, giving them as much space as feels good to the joints. Palms can face up. Lengthen the back of your neck and the front of your neck, giving your shoulders and ears some distance. Take one final deep breath, expanding the ribs. And as slow as you can, let the air out as slow as you can. And then rest. Shavasana is a very important pose in the yoga journey. My teacher said Shavasana is when the body learns that it liked what it did. He said this was more important than the mind liking what it did. If the body liked what it did, it doesn't matter what the mind thought. You'd find a way to do it again. And some people have a different mental relationship to yoga. They do it because they have to, they do it because they like it. Wish they didn't have to do it. Who knows what they tell themselves? They're into the spiritual aspects, they're into the health aspects. Who knows what they tell themselves? The body is going to benefit. Moving, breathing, exploring your range of motion, learning to relax while you move, bear stress on the tendons, ligaments, and muscles and bones. So the body's intelligence is realizing, oh yeah, that was a good time spent. You can just let your mind do whatever it does. But try to let the body enjoy the effects of the practice. Go ahead and stretch your limbs. Roll to your side and take a comfortable seat. Thanks for practicing. Namaste.